How's it going, Ding Dongs? Welcome back to Ding Dong Drift. As you can see, I'm working on the wide body, but today's video is a little bit different. Today I'm going to be going over the final version of my camera mirrors that are now available on the website to purchase if you have an SE400. So today I'm going to show you what comes in the package and how to install it, and we're going to take it out on the road and see how it works in the dark. Let me show you what's in the package. So this is basically the entire kit. We have our cameras that are mounted to the door for both sides. We have our monitors that use the same clamps that they come with in the box, and we have the monitor mount that are printed in a high temperature, high strength filament. They never melt inside the car or anything like that. And that's basically it. That's all you need. The only thing you have to wire is power and ground. You can get that from your window switches, you can get it from the door lights. There's a bunch of places inside the door where you can get 12 volts from, and that's all you need to hook these up. Once they're wired in, it's super easy. The monitors just plug into the cameras, and that's literally it. Another cool feature about this kit, the second input. So both screens will come with a second input, and you can either switch the input here, or you can switch it by running this wire to 12 volts or a switch somewhere, so you can switch it while you're sitting driving. You don't have to reach over. And you can use that second input for, say you have a right-hand drive car and you want to see this side of the road. So you could put a camera somewhere in the front here and be able to see the front if someone is in this lane, because you obviously can't see it from the other side. You could also do the same thing with the other side. You could put a backup camera. You could put a trunk camera in case you want to see how your victims are doing. Many, many options. That's what's possible with this second input. The whole kit is very simple. It comes with new stainless hardware because they need to be longer. The wires will also come with Deutsch connectors. So this will be a connector, and then the wires will be out here that you actually connect to the car. So that if you ever want to uninstall this, put a regular mirror on, you don't have to, cut wires. You can just unplug it and take it out. Yeah, now let's just install it in the car and we'll go take it for a drive. All right, so I showed this a little bit in the last video, but today I'm going to try to show it a little better. Basically, you want to take off the window trim, the door panel, because you're going to have to get access to the door harness wiring if you want to power it. If you already have a gutted car like mine, like a gutted race car, then this is a lot easier. Kind of pillaged my old camera wiring. It used to be very complicated. Stripped all that out, and I now have a power and ground right here that I can use to power the new mirrors. Basically, you want to first start with feeding the wires through the correct side monitor mount. And they will be labeled left for left, right for right. You know car parts, you know how sides work. They're from the perspective of the driver. So you want to feed all the wires through this mount. We don't want to connect the monitor to the actual mount yet because it will make it a little more difficult. We feed the wires through here, let it hang hooked onto the hole here. And then if you look inside here, you could see there's two kind of cavities. Can you see that yellow right there, that yellow line right there? So you don't want to feed the wires through there because that will put them in front of there's like a little rail there. So you want to feed the wires behind that, basically towards the window switches. So once all the wires are all fed through, pull them down, see them right there. You can now wire in your power and ground into whatever source you want to use. I'm going to wire it in right here and then move on to the next step. So before I heat shrink everything, I'm gonna test and make sure that it powers up. Give it power, there we go, screens are on. It's a good idea to always bench test everything. Sometimes stuff breaks in shipping and you don't wanna go through the process of installing everything, and then once you're done, you find out something doesn't work. So when you do receive this stuff, bench test it first, just so you know it's all working. So the next step is the installation of the camera. Same thing, we're gonna feed the wire into the same spot. Just let it chill right there. Make sure you hold on to it until you can connect it. So once you have it connected to the 4-pin plug right here, I recommend putting a piece of tape on this just in case it doesn't get disconnected. Just wrap it up with some tape. We're basically ready to do the final step, which is to bolt everything together. The kit comes with slightly longer stainless hardware, and make sure you don't use any impact tools because you are dealing with plastic. Get it lined up, make sure no wires are pinched, and then we just sandwich it together. Get everything threaded in by hand. You don't strip anything or break anything. This one's a little hard, so I'm just gonna use the socket on that one. So before you crank it down, you wanna take a look at the mirror and make sure it's aligned nicely. There's no gaps anywhere, because it does have a little bit of wiggle room side to side and up and down. So that's looking good. Tighten this down, not too tight. If you start to hear cracking, you're going too far. You basically just want it, you know, a decent amount tight. These are strong prints, but they're still prints. The last step is to attach the monitor. Take apart this clamp, slide it on, make sure the buttons are at the bottom. Before you tighten the clamp all the way down, you want to get in the car, close the door, and adjust the screen to how you want it to face. Tighten it down. Now we can turn it on, and there we have it. Everything works. See that curvy slot in the camera mount? You want to push this wire into that slot. It's really cold in here right now, but if you're in a cold climate, you can put a heat gun to this wire. It will make it a lot more malleable. Put it in the slot, and then you can see there's little slots right there for zip ties. The zip ties are included in the kit, and that's how the wire looks tucked away. See, the zip ties just go through a little internally printed slot, stays right in place. So if you have window trims you want to use, the install process is a bit more complicated. So you basically kind of reverse the process. You have to mount this and the mirror on first, and then you put the window trim on, and then you run the wires through. So it's a little more difficult, but it is doable. It's not impossible. And if you do have window trims on the website, there will be a separate product for the cover. All right, hopefully the audio will be decent. I know my diesel heater is running right now, and actually it's pretty warm in here, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Now we can get to see how good the cameras work. Look, I can see clearly everything over there. See my car over here. That is nice. Well, there goes my hood again. I guess I didn't have it latched. Sick. Did it again. Ugh. Oh boy. I hate this fucking hood so much, but I mean, it's my fault. I don't know when I forgot to latch it, but I forgot to latch it, I guess. Still gonna send it. That ain't going nowhere, maybe. I don't know. Probably will. Well, interesting turn of events. When I see no huge glares from headlights, you can see every car. Everything looks good. So now we're gonna go down this little forest road and see how they do in complete darkness. As you can see, the screens are still brighter than real life. It's much darker outside than the screens are showing. And the brightness of the screens isn't overwhelming, I would say, especially because they're off to the side. I think that's the biggest problem when I had them right here, is they were like in my vision, but now totally fine. And you can also adjust the brightness if you want to tone them down, because I feel like during the day they're still bright enough even if you were to turn them down a little bit. Outside it is very dark, and I turned this camera's brightness down to 15. That one is still full brightness. As you can see, it's too bright, and I think turning it down might actually be better. I think just messing with the settings. Wow, look at that. So you can see car blind spot now. And now you can almost see him in front of me still. He's in front of me, you can still see the car. That is freaking awesome. All right, I'm in a parking lot. What do you think of this image? This is 15 brightness, 40 contrast, 69 saturation. Nice. I think it's looking pretty good now. There's no like crazy blown out highlights. It looks natural, let's say that. Yeah, I think that looks good. All right, well, there we have it. Mirrors are a great success. I think with the few little changes I made in the parking lot to the monitor settings, they're looking much better now. Obviously, I'm gonna still keep developing them, improving them, messing with the settings, seeing what I can change, and maybe even try talking to the manufacturer. Maybe I can get some sort of functionality added, because there is a way to update it, I think. It's a bummer on the hood, but honestly, this hood was always a piece of crap, and I'm really not that sad. I have a stock hood right there that is ready to be molded. So I just gotta pull it out of the corner. I gotta get the motorcycle out of here. Maybe someday I'll take the time, pull the motorcycle out, throw it away. It's getting cold again. This whole week's gonna be like 30 degrees or lower. So the wide body is gonna have to wait once again. Unfortunately, I don't know if you could hear it in my voice, but the whole week that it was nice outside, I was sick, and I'm still coming off of the sickness, I guess you could say. That always happens when you're looking forward to nice weather, something happens to ruin it all completely. What's next? I think I'm just gonna go down the list of the pole. Next up, I'm gonna do the shifter surround. I'm gonna make a new one so that people can buy these for their manual swaps. And also the Einstar Vega just received another update that I want to make a video about. So that will be the perfect project to make a new video about the Einstar Vega. That's going to be it for this one. Oh, in case you're wondering, the price of the mirrors is $469.99. So if you want to pick up a set, you can go do that at dingdongdrift.com. The link will be in the description. So these will have a longer lead time than most of my 3D prints. My 3D prints ship in about a week to 2 weeks based on demand and how busy I am. But these will be about a month to a month and a half, because I don't want to stock these screens, just, you know, have a bunch of them stocked, because that would be just a waste of space. When you place an order, I buy the screens and cameras. Once those come in, I'll have, you know, the whole thing printed, and then I assemble it and do all the wiring and everything, and then ship you a complete product. That's gonna be it for this one, Ding Dongs. If you want to become a Patreon to see these videos early, you can do that in the link below. Oh. That's a new dent. That's where the hood hit. That's nice. It's gonna make making the roof skin a little bit harder, but what can you do, I guess? Carbon sunroof delete took it though. So yeah, support the Patreon. Oh man, that sucks. I wasn't really that mad about the hood, but now that's upsetting. Well, that's gonna be it for this one. Peace out, stay sweet, and I'll see you guys next week.
America. Do you have your passport?